Have you ever felt the heavy weight of someone's attention, only to realize that it wasn't genuine care, but a complex form of manipulation? If you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, you may have found yourself feeling confused, drained, and perhaps even questioning your worth. But the truth is, narcissists need you more than you might think, perhaps even more than you need them. This article explores why a narcissist can't thrive without you in their life, unmasking the hidden dynamics of their behavior, and what drives their unrelenting need for your presence. A narcissist may appear invincible, confident, and even superior from the outside. With an air of entitlement, they expect admiration and respect from everyone around them. But beneath this polished exterior lies a fragile core. Narcissists are unable to function without the constant validation they seek from others. It's not just that they love themselves. They need others to love them in order to validate their very existence. Without this external approval, the carefully constructed world they've built would crumble. This dynamic becomes especially evident in relationships, where narcissists thrive by drawing attention, admiration, and energy from others. On the surface, it might seem like they don't need anyone. However, in reality, they are incapable of existing in a healthy, balanced way without others, particularly you, who serves as their mirror. Let's take a closer look at why a narcissist can't truly thrive without you. A narcissist's self-worth is entirely dependent on the feedback they receive from others. Unlike people with a healthy sense of self-esteem, narcissists are in a constant state of seeking approval, admiration, and affirmation. Their ego is built upon external sources of validation, rather than internal fulfillment. In their eyes, their worth is always at risk, leaving them vulnerable to the judgments and perspectives of those around them. For a narcissist, the need for external validation becomes a lifeline. They cannot sustain their inflated sense of self without others reinforcing it. This can lead to a relentless pursuit of admiration, constantly seeking to be the center of attention and at the forefront of conversations. Without the praise and adoration of others, their sense of identity falters, and they may feel lost or worthless. In relationships, the narcissist often places immense pressure on their partner or those close to them. You, as their partner, play a critical role in maintaining their emotional well-being. Your admiration and attention are necessary for them to feel validated. It's not about genuine connection or care for others, but about using others as a mirror to reflect back their grandiose self-image. Ultimately, the narcissist's dependency on others for emotional nourishment creates an imbalance in the relationship. The narcissist cannot maintain a sense of stability or fulfillment without external validation, and their emotional well-being is precariously tied to how others perceive them. In a healthy, balanced relationship, both partners contribute equally to each other's sense of self-worth. But for a narcissist, their sense of self is fragile and entirely contingent on the admiration they receive from you and others. Now, imagine the vulnerability behind the narcissist's facade. This reliance on others is not about mutual love or healthy interdependence. Instead, it's a deeply ingrained need for validation. They want to be adored, revered, and recognized, because without this they feel small, worthless, and insignificant. Their inflated sense of self is essentially a defense mechanism to shield themselves from the deep insecurities they harbor inside. You might wonder why a narcissist doesn't simply find their validation from within. The answer is simple: they can't. They often experience what is known as narcissistic injury, a profound sense of emotional wounding that occurs when they feel ignored, unimportant, or undervalued. This injury can be triggered by even the slightest perceived rejection, leading to feelings of rage, shame, and humiliation. Their emotional state becomes so unstable that they need constant reinforcement from others to keep them afloat. Without you, the narcissist would likely spiral into despair. They would struggle to find meaning or purpose in their existence. Think about it. The narcissist's entire sense of self is constructed on the feedback they get from others. If you withdraw your attention, love, and admiration, they are left in emotional chaos. This is why they often cling to you, not out of love, but out of necessity. It's important to note that narcissists often manipulate people into staying in their lives. They're adept at making you feel guilty for pulling away. Or they might turn on the charm and attempt to convince you that they can't live without you. The truth is, they can't thrive without the validation you provide. They don't necessarily care about your well-being or happiness. They care about what you can give them emotionally. If you stop giving them what they crave, they may go to great lengths to get you back, even resorting to deceit, charm, or guilt. This toxic cycle can be exhausting for the people around them. You might find yourself giving more and more, trying to meet their endless emotional needs, only to be left feeling empty and unappreciated. The narcissist, in turn, feeds off your energy and attention, feeling powerful when they are the center of your world. But once they have drained you, they may discard you without a second thought, seeking new sources of validation elsewhere. It's a cruel, cyclical pattern that leaves everyone involved feeling used and hurt. Understanding this dynamic is key to recognizing why narcissists struggle to thrive without others. Their emotional stability depends entirely on the people around them, particularly those who feed their ego. Without you, their false sense of superiority crumbles. They may attempt to convince themselves they are fine, but deep down, they know that their survival depends on having people like you in their life, people who will keep their illusion of greatness intact. What's even more fascinating is how narcissists can often seem fine on the surface. Even when they've pushed people away, they may put on a brave face, convince themselves that they don't need anyone, or even find ways to devalue those they've lost. But in reality, their internal world is one of constant conflict and turmoil. Their sense of worth is fragile, and the only way they can maintain it is by having others to feed it. Without you, they would lose that external affirmation, and their fragile sense of self would fall apart. But let's not forget that narcissists are also highly manipulative. They know how to get what they want from you. They can be incredibly charming, seductive, and persuasive when they want to be. They might tell you all the right things, shower you with praise, and make you feel indispensable. It's all part of their strategy to ensure you remain in their life, supplying them with the emotional sustenance they crave. If you stop playing the game, they'll do whatever it takes to get you back in their orbit. The key to understanding why a narcissist can't thrive without you is recognizing that their identity is not self-contained. They depend on the people around them to exist in the world they've created for themselves. Without the constant feedback, they would face an existential crisis. They would question their value, their purpose, and ultimately their identity. So, what can you take away from this? If you find yourself entangled with a narcissist, it's essential to recognize the unhealthy dynamic at play. They need you far more than you need them. Their emotional survival depends on your validation, and they will do whatever it takes to keep you in their life. Whether it's manipulation, guilt-tripping, or even empty promises, they will keep you close as long as you continue to feed their ego. But here's the catch. You have the power to break free from their grasp. By recognizing your worth and understanding the narcissist's need for you, you can regain control over your own emotional well-being. Remember, you don't exist to serve as a mirror for their ego. You are worthy of love, respect, and validation, without having to sacrifice your own happiness and peace for someone else's fragile sense of self. In the end, a narcissist can't thrive without you, but that doesn't mean you need to stay in their orbit. You deserve to thrive on your own, without being tethered to someone who relies on you for their survival. So, take back your power, find your worth from within, and remember that you are not here to feed someone else's ego. Thank you for reading. If this article resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who might benefit from understanding the dynamics of narcissism. You are not alone, and together, we can break free from the toxic patterns that hold us back. Have you ever felt the heavy weight of someone's attention, only to realize that it wasn't genuine care, but a complex form of manipulation? If you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, You may have found yourself feeling confused, drained, and perhaps even questioning your worth. But the truth is, narcissists need you more than you might think, perhaps even more than you need them. This article explores why a narcissist can't thrive without you in their life, unmasking the hidden dynamics of their behavior,